We're in our bracket. We have Davenport Black also at 2 points, All State Esports at 3 points, Concord at 3 points, Northwood Blue at 5 points, Akron Blue at 8 points, Maryville at 11, and St. Clair is at 16. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to say 15.
It's supposed to say 16. But real quick, they couldn't hear us that entire time. It was muted. You know what's crazy? I checked these things and I somehow still do not. I miss them. I should have changed the text while I was over there. That's on me anyways. But regardless, welcome in everybody. This is CRL Open number 2, not the first Open. If you are wondering why we didn't stream the first Open, it's because it happened on January 13th, I think it was. I don't necessarily remember the exact day. I can just pull up a calendar if I really wanted to. It was the 11th, actually, sorry. January 11th and 12th was the first Open. Our students were not on campus. The only one that was around campus was likely just like me. And so I would have had to streamed it from my room, which was what you saw for that Call of Duty stream on Tuesday. But for this one, we decided to wait until this Open was coming in, and we have pretty much our second stream of the year, first official from the arena here at Southern Miss. A very good time though. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad we have everyone back here on campus. Southern Miss managed to grab a point in that first CRL Open, and that was huge for them because in the first Open, or in the entirety of the fall semester, they only ended up grabbing one singular point, and that came in Open 2. So now they are basically tied with what they had in the fall. Points do not carry over, and there's no net need to even really know how many points anyone had in the fall because it doesn't matter. But just for reference sake, they had 1 point in the fall, which they did manage to grab last Open. Now, in that first Open, they end up losing in the winners quarterfinal over towards West Virginia. That was a 3-1 series for the Mountaineers, and in the losers final, they ended up falling to, again, West Virginia, who made it all the way into the top 6, which they ended up falling in the first round to, I believe, St. Clair was their first match, and after that, they may have gotten a Northwood or a Concord, so it was not a great matchup for them in that part. That was a lot. I will say, too, I guess we'll go over the point well, you kind of went over the point standings a little bit while we turn the mics back on, but at the bottom, the right outside of the top 8, which the top 8 point scoring teams are the ones that are going to make that overall playoff. The top 8 are St. Clair, Maryville, Akron, Northwood, Concord, Ball State, Davenport, and West Virginia, with the only other teams that have points right now being Illinois State, Boise State, Oklahoma Christian, and Southern Miss. So 4 teams certainly looking to make their way into that playoff spot, but with the way points break down, I had a conversation with you about this the other day. I'm not a huge fan of the way points break down. I don't know if how much I can really talk about it, but I don't know if I agree fully with giving first place 16, because that essentially means the team that won a single Open, which at the same time is very hard to do, I understand, but the team that won the first Open essentially is guaranteed playoffs at this point. They could literally not play at all in any of the other Opens, which of course St. Clair is going to. St. Clair's a great school, great players. I mean, they just picked up Arju, which we didn't even get a chance to talk about that yet over the break. They already are basically could just not play in any other Open, and they would already be qualified for playoffs. Again, it makes sense. I understand why, but it just seems like the way points are distributed is really weird, and it's not like fully there. But this is also the first season with this format, so you can't expect it to be perfect.
Yeah, it is interesting though seeing all these teams at the top and how they'll literally just bring in a pro, because St. Clair was good last season. They were good.
They were very good.
Because it was Northwood, or it was Concord, Northwood, Maryville, and that was your top 3. And then out of nowhere, you'll have St. Clair this semester come in and just destroy, picking up one of the top newbies in RLCS, being Arju.
Yeah,
they're put at the top.
Yeah, Arju is just an incredible player. I mean, the guy is unbelievable. He's kind of new to the scene, if I remember correctly, and he has just come in, won his first ever CRL Open with St. Clair, and in the RLCS Open, he plays top 8. He plays, well, it says 8th, but I'll just say top 8 for the sake of the conversation. conversation. I mean, the guy is just unbelievable. I've seen him play. He is better than a lot of even some of the players on certain pro teams. It's hard to describe. He's in Southern Miss's bracket today. If we see Southern Miss get to that winners final, they will be playing St. Clair. If they aren't, that is an upset. Whoever beats St. Clair is probably considered one of the best teams in all of CRL, even if they have never gotten points before.
Yeah.
So they're certainly a team to be looking out for. And I guess that's a great transition to talk about the top 40. I think it's the top 48 poll that colleague puts up, but for the sake of our conversation, it's only going to go to like 30. So Southern Miss is in a very stacked poll this time around. This is probably the most, I looked through every single poll. This is probably the most stacked poll. Once again, it felt like that was the case last semester, and it feels like again this semester they're getting stacked pools over and over and over. And in this pool, we have number 1 St. Clair, number 6 West Virginia, number 8 Davenport, number 12 Cumberland, and number 17 Columbia. And that's not even talking about number 26 and 28 who are also in this pool, with Southern Miss being ranked number 14. So you have what, 7, 8 teams all in the top 25 alone in one pool. No other pool has that many. It's not even close. It's so, again, a very stacked pool. I'm not saying that's a good excuse for Southern Miss if they don't make it into Sunday, but there's a lot of really good teams here. Cumberland, a solid roster. Cumberland, by the way, picking up a brand new roster, not brand new to CRL. They literally just took Harrisburg's team and added Nightya. Nightya is also new to Cumberland, but they picked up the Harrisburg University roster. I don't think Harrisburg has a team now because of that. So the transfer portal went huge for them. They're pretty much the only team that really used the transfer portal like that. Almost everyone else at the top level that made a move, made a couple moves, either picked up someone from RCS like we saw of St. Clair, or they simply just brought up a player from like their B team to their main team, and that means that player is not playing, but they are on the main roster now, and they're just the sub.
Yeah. Yep. No, 100%. Another team that we do have in our roster that I know is he's a pretty big name in RLCS, not skill wise, but just because he consistently hits these top level. I can't remember what he plays. It's Gyro for West Virginia. Now it does say that they have 4 players. I don't specifically. It says they also place 8th for Deleted Gaming.
Yeah, that's Gyro's placement, 8th place, top 8 for Gyro on Deleted Gaming. So a lot of, so I'm gonna plug it, I guess, here. I don't know, you might have to scroll really far down on my Twitter. I didn't pin it. You can only pin one thing, bro. And I have like 8 documents I want public, so maybe I'll make like a link tree or something and link it there. But on my Twitter, you can go there and go scroll down a bit, and you'll see a link that says CRL/RLCS Spring Crossover Doc. I'm gonna add the top 25 teams in there. The poll wasn't out until yesterday, so I didn't get the time to do it. But I have added almost every single top 25 team in CRL to this document, and added the player names and where they played both in the fall and in the spring, alongside where they placed in RLCS Open 1, with Open 2 taking place next weekend. So there's a lot of teams that have placed very highly in CRL and RLCS, which I think it's worth talking about. Sath and Melodic, they both played in the RLCS Open 1 on Controller Geeks. They teamed up with a non-collegiate player who they ended up placing 27th. They got to day 3 in the Swiss. They played very, very well. I was watching as many matches as I could. None of them streamed it. I would like to see them stream it if they can on their Twitch channels, but I know like a lot of players don't really stream, so I understand. But they ended up placing top 32, which is very, very high. That's higher than most of the players that I have on this list. I shouldn't say most, a decent bit of the players I have on this list. Only main players that placed above them were, like you said, Gyro, Hockey Cream Zanil. Hockey Cream Zanil on Northwood are literally players that make the final day, that make the grand finals of the regionals, almost every single regional. So players you'd expect to be up there. And Zath and Melodic right there with them, keeping up. So I think that's a really good sign that the boys are playing over the breaks, and I would like to see them continue playing together over these other opens, over these other CRLs, and I'm really excited to see what they can do, especially because they do look like they have improved mechanically. And I already thought Melodic personally was one of the most mechanical players in all of CRL, and I'll stand by justify that even now. So I really am excited to see what they're able to pull out here today, especially now that they have West Virginia in their pool again. I think they can go for revenge against them.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. And I looked up their RL tracker yesterday just to see if they were playing. I looked up a couple of their ball chasing replays and everything. I literally was like hunting for streams of these guys playing. They look amazing right now. And that's not even like they were good last semester. Watching their twos games, I think Zath has like 450 logged twos games this season.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah.
The crazy part is we probably could have just asked him for this information, but we decided to like make it harder on ourselves and just hunt for the information wherever we could find it instead of just like asking them in Discord.
But yeah, I'm excited to see how these guys do. They have definitely been on the grind, so it's gonna be amazing watching them play.
Yeah, and I think last semester kind of was a wake-up call. I'll be honest, because they really believe that they should be one of those top 8, top 6 teams in CRL, and they absolutely have the skill to do it. They need to be playing more, and that's exactly what they did. They decided over break, let's play more and more and more, and that's what we're gonna do to get better. And that's really the only way you can get better. And I think that the improvement over the break is going to show this semester, ideally. We are still waiting, by the way, on Wake Technical Community College and UCSB Blue. Oh, never mind. It is UCSB Blue. Literally the second I'm saying it, that's when they finished the match. It was a game 3 slammer that lasted 22 minutes. So we have UCSB Blue against Southern Miss in winners round 2. Now, prediction, we've been talking about RLCS almost this entire time. UCSB Blue, I don't know their roster. I'm gonna pull up their roster real quick. Now, to be honest, this is probably a 2-0. They have Brandino, Rascal, and NVA. I don't know how to pronounce that because I can't read English very well, even though it's my first language and my second language. So I apologize to you, but I don't know how to pronounce that. But we will see how they end up performing there. Just awaiting the check-in from Southern Miss. It looks like there's a couple other matches too that are just about to get started. I see St. Clair's going to be taking on Idaho State. Cumberland still awaiting their match. That is a 3-game series that has lasted almost 30 minutes. That's Keene State College and Robert Morris. Hey, I wish I could watch that. RMU is probably streaming too. RMU does stream a little bit, so they're probably streaming that. That has to be game 3. I mean, that is an obscene 30-minute series. 30 minutes for a best of 3 is crazy.
Yeah, that is wild.
I also noticed we have Fisher Pescados in our pool, but I don't believe that's any of their. That's like their team, probably like 3. I think it's Tasek, Fowles, and Kevin, and I don't know any of those players, but I mean it's a Fisher roster. They're probably okay. They're probably at least okay. So I would never count them out. But if they win their series against New Mexico State, they have to play Cumberland. So I'm not super sure on that one. The thing with this bracket as well, Southern Miss does not play any of the top teams, any of those ranked squads until the winners semifinal. Every single opponent Southern Miss will have before that is going to be an opponent that they realistically should 2-0. And in that semifinal, guess who they'd get? West Virginia. That is a great matchup. If we can get to that point, if Southern Miss can get to that winner semifinal, they are in great shape. And they will, hopefully, if they 2-0 everyone in that way, then they are going to be prepared for West Virginia. They lost, effectively, they lost 6-1 to them last open. So they certainly need to find a way to beat the Mountaineers. And it's kind of similar to that story with Northwood. I mean, last semester, every single open, all 4 of them, Southern Miss had Northwood in their bracket. You just have to find a way.
Yeah.
As easy as that sounds, it is not easy to beat West Virginia. It is not easy to beat Northwood. It is not easy to beat St. Clair. It is not easy to beat any of those teams. I will never say it's easy to beat any of them unless if you are Vitality or like NRG, and even then they would struggle against some of these guys too. So, I mean, there's a reason collegiate players are placing top 8, top 6. 6, top 4 in RLCS. The future of North America, at least the North American region, is the collegiate scene. And no other esport can say that, except for maybe Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So if you really think about that too, these are not rosters to take lightly in any sense. If you sent some of these collegiate rosters to Europe, well, one, they probably wouldn't win, but they would still be placing top 32, top 16. Like, these are all teams, like probably the top 20 CRL rosters. If you sent them to Europe, they would probably be top 64, top 128 rosters. I know Europe's a stacked region, so I don't want to overspeak. So I'm trying to be very careful with my wording. I don't want any Europeans just randomly pinging me on Twitter to call me stupid. So I'm gonna be careful with how I say things. But like, again, you got a guy like Arju on St. Clair, which Arju did not play collegiate in the fall. He played, well, I don't know if he was playing RLCS in the fall. My guess would be he probably was. But when you have players that are actively placing top 8 in RLCS that are like, you know what, I want to go play college, and it's competitive. Like, they didn't 3-0 everybody into the finals. They 3-0 their first to winner semis, but they didn't 3-0 all the way to the finals. They played Northwood, I think, in the finals, or Concord, and it was like a 3-1, 3-2. So it's not an easy road for literally anyone in these brackets, even the top team.
Well, the thing about the players that you see on the top, like Space Station Gaming or NRG, who were the teams that were like, yeah, this is the top of our region. Those players are either 1, too old to be in college, or 2, too young. So it's like the rest of these players, like CRL is just an extra opportunity to further develop skills with players that you're going to be playing or in RLCS anyway.
I'm gonna slightly push back on that. You are never too old to be in college. You never are too old to be in college. There's a 35-year-old college football player. I don't remember what position he plays, but there is, like, if you look it up, I forget what school he goes to too. I don't know if he's D1 or not, but there is actually, I saw it on CBS, so apparently it's true. There's a 35-year-old college football player, so you're never too old to be in college, but I know what you meant. They're not, like, especially in Rocket League, you can start competing at, 14, and that is, you're not even in high school at that point. You're in high school at 16, at least in the US. You're in high school at 16 years old. These are middle schoolers that can play at the world stage. The CRL scene is probably going to thrive with that being a thing. Like, not that it wasn't before, but the fact that you can recruit these guys out of high school and they're already an RLCS quality player is unbelievable. Like Zen is 16, 17 right now, so is Daniel.
Yeah.
Like, those are high school students. They're not even ready for college yet. Well, maybe they are, and their grades are just like crazy. I don't know, and I don't know how school works in France, but like, it's unbelievable how deep the talent can be in something like Rocket League, and it's basically RLCS light that we're starting to see form. And honestly, I don't have an issue with it. I used to have a really big issue with it in Call of Duty, and I still kind of do, but different title, so I'm not going to get into that. But the way it works in RLCS is great because you have those players. They are playing with the best of the best in the entire world, and they're not even in college yet. And then they can go to college and continue to get those reps. Like, it's just extra reps for some of them. Like, for a guy like Arju, it's probably just extra reps at this point. Like, it's very cool to, for me, from my perspective, it's very cool to see, because when I was in high school, back in my day, not that I'm 23, but like back in my day, it was a pain to find any school that even had esports as a varsity sport. And like now, almost every, like, there's at least 200-300 schools in the country that have esports as their varsity sport. Like, it's unbelievable. I do see that the match is ready to start, at least in the sense of on Start GG. So should be getting the lobby set up here in just a little bit. But I do really enjoy. I'm glad I prepared so much for this, because I really did want to have a conversation like this. I just didn't expect that we needed to stall for like,
it's been
20, 30,
or yeah.
Well, yeah, we've only been talking. Yeah, we've only been talking for 20 minutes, but still, if you are still here with us, just listening to us have this conversation, thank you. The game hasn't even started it, bro. Like, I'm quite impressed. I enjoy these types of conversations, but I'm also an esports person, so like, if you're just here to watch Southern Miss, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. You have to hear all this. I apologize, but
Rocket League is my thing. I might not play a lot anymore, but I still love watching all the esports things, especially RLCS. You sent me the Twitch link of them playing, and you went, they're about to play 2 world champions in AJ, and I was like, all right, I'm watching this.
yeah, they played Squishy, AJ, and Garrett G in their first match of Swiss, by the way. If you don't know these players, these 3 players, Squishy and AJ and Garrett G are some of the most legendary names in all of Rocket League. There's a title in the game called Squishy Saver because of Squishy. Like, these are 3 legends that are just, they're just playing to have fun. They're all retired. They don't like officially compete anymore. They're just competing in the opens to have fun. And they place very well. They place this, I should say that. They placed nearly the same as Squishy, or as Zaf and Melodic. They nearly placed the same. They made it to the what's it called? GSL bracket, I think is what it's called. They made it to the GSL, which is the day after the Swiss, where Zath and Melodic fell out of the tournament. But Zath and Melodic also ended up going into that 2-2 round. And if you're unfamiliar with how Swiss works, you have to win 3 before you lose 3. If you lose 3 before you win 3, you're out. They got to that final game and they ended up falling. But I mean, you've gotten to that point, and that is, and also that's not even their full roster. It was just Zath Melodic. Asher did not play in the open. As far as I could tell, he did not play in the open. So we'll see if he ends up competing further down the line in those opens. But we will have to check in with them as we continue on through these opens, because there's obviously more CRL open, or more CRL opens. There's 3 more or 2 more after today, and also RLCS opens. I think there's like 1 more before the major, or is there 2 more?
I think it's 1 more. They cut it back from 3 opens to
2.
Yeah, but I don't know. RLCS has changed a lot, so we'll see. They have a solid chance of making it.
And it looks like we are ready to start the game. Zaf, please do not stay in a voice channel. Please don't stay in a voice channel. We have Southern Miss taking on UCSB Blue. Or is it UCSB?
Yeah, Wake Tech lost.
Yes, I know I know it's not Wake Tech. Yeah, UCSB Blue. So we will get that fixed for you in a second on Barrel, but we will just have to await the players joining the game, and then we will be ready to kick things off with our first series of the day.
Yep, excited about this. I'm really excited to see what the boys have adjusted, what they've done. I have seen, I did in my VOD review of them last night, just going through, they have gotten a lot more communicative, and it seems like they're definitely doing more passing plays, even from last semester where they really shone bright whenever they did passing plays. So this should be an interesting match. I'm excited to see what they pull out of their hat. I don't know how much they've been playing with each other. If y'all know ball chasing, if you're not a member, you can only upload 10 Rocket League matches a day. So it was basically me going through streamers' matches and looking for them. But they should be playing good. I don't know exactly how this match is gonna work, how it goes. It should be an easy 2-0 sweep, but we will see. You never know. UCSB Blue might put up a solid fight here, but just waiting for everyone to join in.
I know. I thought they were gonna join a lot earlier. I really hope on this account I turn the voice chat off, because I see Melodic talking, and that's not the guy I want. I want them to talk to each other, not talk to us. We don't need to hear y'all. We are into the game, though, ladies and gentlemen. First series of the day. Teams are flipped, but we will deal with that in a minute here. We have Hooey Magooey. So the roster on Start GG is incorrect. Actually, all of those are incorrect. Oh man, these are some names. I will say this is an all-name team right here for UCSB Blue. I will give them that. Hui Magui tries to send one through, but Ariel just a little slow. Melodic is one of the fastest players in Rocket League, so he is going to be challenging and contesting every ball. We have Mr. Plam Pagarth, or otherwise known as Pickle Lover. We'll call him that for the rest of the series. Hui Magui up. Astro going to have to go on the defense, but that's a good bump from Magui, just trying to keep things awkward. And when you are playing a team like Southern Miss that is just, is a higher caliber than you, if you are contesting them, you have a chance to win. Absolutely have a chance to win.
Yeah, no, 100%. You need to pull out as many bumps and demos as you can to kind of throw these guys off their game, throw them off their rotation. I saw a bump by Melodic on Astro right there. Don't know what that was about. That was kind of weird. But we will see Astro trying to go in. That's open. Oh, very close. They got there, and you'll see USCB Blue is coming out with the demos. Like I said, trying to throw Southern Miss off their game. Right now, still 0-0. Southern Miss has had a lot of attacking chances. Astro's going to take it slow, hand it off for Zath. Hui Magui can't get there, and it is just in for Astro. All of UCSB's players missed. Hui Magui jumped for it, and then Pickle Lover could not get the block.
I will say, I have so much respect for this UC roster. They are coming out and not backing down. This is the number 14 team in the country, Southern Miss. And this is just a UCSB roster. Like, I don't know any of these players. I mean, just look at their names. I have no idea who any of them are, but they are coming out with some fire, just playing so aggressive against a team that is very, very talented. And that's what I like to see from these first round teams. And that's why you can't just look ahead like we were. You can't just look ahead and say, oh yeah, they're going to play West Virginia in like 2 hours. You have to still play a few rounds of matches before you get into it. But of course, Zath, here he is, letting that one go to Melodic, ran out of boost. Now Melodic looking for the reset, does get it, but a block from Hui Magui, sending that one away. Astro now the next man up, and he's getting mechanical. This is stuff we never saw from Astro in the fall. And maybe he was playing, we just didn't know. There's Melodic, Zath, here comes Astro once more. Melodic, the only player in net, but Nova does get the save. Hui Magui doesn't have a touch there. Melodic gets an open net, and that is just a great play from Melodic. Flies all the way to the ceiling. Actually saved that flip from a mile away. Nova, the only player left. I wish I could say that every time, but I just can't. Nova not able to get back to it in time. Pickle Lover on the kickoff is going to send it down to Hui Magui. Actually just takes the shot for himself. Astro, typically the defensive player for Southern Miss, does manage to get a save there. Astro going to send this one out to Melodic. Pops it up for Astro once again. Now here it goes straight down. Zath is wide open, and that is in the back of the net. Maybe just getting into the first series, getting into it a little bit, and now you have Southern Miss taking a solid lead. Still 2 minutes left in the game. It is 3-0, and I will say, again, these names are incredible. I love these players. I have no idea who any of them are.
Yeah, they're definitely meaning just a little bit. If you look at their car designs, those car designs are literally specifically just to make you mad, except Hui Magui. His car design's clean, but the rest of them, it's like...
I've never seen those paw print wheels in my life. Where did you get those? Those are sick.
Tournament with them.
They probably are.
They are, because I have a pair of those in my garage.
I have so much respect for these players. They are having a great, I really think they are just laughing it off, and they are having a great time. Because, I mean, they're playing well, too. They are not backing down. They are very aggressive here. They're going for bummos. Wow, they're going for bumps and demos. I guess I created a new word combining the two to one term, because I couldn't say both. Here's Zath looking for Melodic in the air. This is just dirty work. Almost got it it to him. Now it'll be on to Pickle Lover to send it downfield for UCSB. Will not get there. Melodic tries to contest, has it down to Astro. Astro looking for the double and almost hits that, but Melodic will clean it up, makes it a clean 4-0 clean sheet for Southern Miss. The Golden Eagles are soaring right now in the first series of the day, but of course they need to win a best of 3, not just one game.
Yeah, we are seeing some nice shots coming off from Astro. I mean, the air dribbles, the double touches. I also do not know how Melodic got demoed there, but we will see. He's pushing up, waiting for that pass from Astro, and Astro's just gonna keep it to himself, trying to do anything that he can. We'll pass it off to Melodic. Melodic going for the double, doesn't quite bounce the way he wanted it. Zaf going for it again. Astro missing.
Wait, look at the bumps from Nova. And Nova's almost in position, but will not get there. And we are seeing now some offense once again from UCSB. Zatho does get the dribble all the way coast to coast, almost puts it through the back of the net as well. Pickle Lover going to be the one to send it away. Huey Magui looks for his teammates, but it's just going to go straight to Astro, to Melodic, all the way back down to Zath. The air bump comes through. That is just a picture-perfect play. Southern Miss 5-0 with 10 seconds left on the clock.
What a bump. Astro was watching that guy jump, waiting for him to come in. That was definitely peak performance right there.
They gotta save these plays for when they play a top 25 team. Look at that, Zath air pass all the way to Melodic across the field. They are doing whatever they want, but that is going to do it for game number 1, unless they try to put another in, which I think they're exactly what they're going for here. Huey Magui looking for one for the road, will not get it. No one will find a goal at the 0-second mark. 5-0 clean sheet in the first one. You can see Astro and Zath with the RLCS 2024 Challenger tags. Melodic deciding to abstain from matching with the rest of the squad. And look at the stats there. I mean, look at the saves though. There were 8 saves from UCSB. Like, what do you do? What do you do? You lost 5-0, but there were still 8 saves. Just, I don't know, man. That's tough.
That just shows you the offensive prowess that Southern Miss has been putting on. As we see, you know, it looks like Zath and Melodic specifically are. Oh my goodness! It's been 7 seconds. Zath screwed that up a little bit and somehow still manages to get the ball in their net.
If this is how they play through the entire day, they could make a run. They look incredible right now. And maybe playing in that RLCS Open with each other, having to play against guys like Squishy, AJ, and Garrett G, why you can play at this level and why they look so clinical right now. And to be fair, I do want to see them play against a very stacked roster like they have multiple of in this bracket to really get an idea of how they look. But I mean, this is just an incredible way to start things out. And like, you may think we're glazing a little bit, and we'll be real. It's not an unglazed donut right now that we're talking with, but at the same time, in the fall, this is not what they looked like. They did not look like this in the fall. They still had these moments in them, but it feels like it's been the entirety of the series that they've been putting together these types of intricate passing plays, 1, 2, 3 bang outs, even individually. We're seeing a lot more resets. They look a lot more comfortable on the sticks, and that is what wins you games. That's what wins you games against top players. And now Southern Miss are putting so much together. It looks like a completely different, I don't want to say completely different. It looks like a much more complete team right here, right now. Look at that shot from Astro, bottom right bins. What more do I have to say?
Oh my goodness. What a slot. Bottom right corner. There was just no way you're getting to that. And as you said, I don't even think really that the ball has been on the side of Southern Miss for 5 seconds. I think it has been on, and I say that, and now the ball is on our side.
It's a good clue. Wait, there's someone center. Oh, Huey Magui not able to get to the ball in time. That was a good pass from No. Nova, though. Good work. Unfortunately, won't lead to a goal, but still, some flashes here of brilliance. If anyone knows the reference, then thank you to the one person who knows what that means. Melodic is going to be the one to carry it downfield once again. What a pass mid. I mean, Zath and Astro look confused. Like, I don't think either of them were expecting that pass from Melodic. Huey Magui, though, looking for the must. He does almost get to it fully, but we'll be back to the hands of Zath and Melodic, and the duo going to send it back for a third, and it is just a little too easy for them right now. The series ahead of us, I don't want to look ahead, but I'm going to look ahead a little bit. Purdue Gold, the team awaiting the winner of this one for the time being. So when Southern Miss wins this game, they will end up playing Purdue Gold in the next round. Melodic going to send this one up to Zath, but here's Huey Magui. He has a chance to score. He ran out of boost, though, just needed maybe 20 more boost, and he can dribble that straight into the back of the net. I would genuinely like to see these players get at least one goal. They seriously, they deserve it. They kind of deserve to score. But Southern Miss putting on a performance right now. Individually and as a team, they look very well put together here. Astro going to be the one to carry this one out. Does get it past one, but it will be sent back towards his net. Melodic with a back touch, a lot of power too, so maybe not the easiest to put on target if you are UCSB. Astro, now the one with the ball once again, has Zath behind, but Astro is just taking every 50 and letting it ride. Here comes Zath, here comes Melodic, and Melodic maybe a little bit of a mistouch there, sends it out away from Zath. Here comes Pickle Lover once more, gets the bump, so his teammates are going to have space to grab the ball. Nova almost rips the shot, will not get there in time though, and a demo from Nova onto Zath will at least hold the push for a second, but really the only players that are stopping Southern Miss from scoring is probably Southern Miss.
Yeah, you've seen them bump each other a couple times, but I appreciate looking at them go for bumps and demos on the other team. I don't know where that came from.
I don't know how Pickle Lover even got to that ball. He got bumped to the ceiling, no boost, and still got the touch before anyone else. That was crazy.
Yeah, that is insane. You will see they have had a bunch of shot opportunities. Southern Miss defense, though, has been crazy. Another shot opportunity. Huey Magui just misses it. It will be Astro trying to do a musty pass to Melodic. Melodic gonna bump out Pickle Lover. It's just an open. Melodic barely missing it. We'll hit it to Zath. No boost, however, or very low boost, and it's gonna be back to Astro. Astro's gonna read it off the wall, gets a double, back out to Huey Magui, and it is now Pickle Lover. Now, on the side of UCSB, they barely have any boost. I mean, they have been on the back foot for the majority of this game. Even when they have had offensive chances, they've just had, and they scored!
Nova finds the back of the net, and finally UCSB at least gets one to go, but unfortunately the to go is probably going to be McDonald's here in 2 seconds, as they will fall out of the series 2-0. I really just almost said 1-0, as if that's a series. That's just a game. Melodic going to let that one hit the ground. 2-0, 3-1 in that game, and that will be GG's. On to Purdue Gold for Southern Miss. Don't really get to see the stats. Everyone left the lobby, unfortunately, so we will not be able to see that, but we will certainly be able to see it on the stat sheet later tonight whenever our stats are put into the spreadsheet. I don't know when that's going to happen, because I don't know either, but that is going to do it for the first series of the day. The next one should start pretty quickly, though. We have Purdue Gold up on deck, and after that, I completely forgot. Rochester Christian is also in this bracket. They're not top 25, but I believe they're 26 or 28. So that is certainly another team to be looking out for. I genuinely, like, I did not mean to not include them. I just stopped looking at the bracket after Southern Miss, and they're not at the very bottom of the bracket. And Rochester Christian is literally like the second to last team on the bracket. So that is another team to look out for. And Southern Miss would play them if they beat Purdue Gold. They would likely play Rochester Christian. Rochester Christian playing UT Arlington. So that's probably a good match. That could go 3, but likely it will be Southern Miss taking on Rochester Christian in the next round, which would be a top 26 matchup. Not top 25, but it's basically the same thing.
Yeah. We will see. Southern Miss should come out here with another clean 2-0 sweep against Purdue Gold. Now, I will say about those UCSB guys, they played really well.
They did. I give a lot of credit to them. One, for their names. Their names were so good. I'm glad Nova was the one who scored so I could scream that into the microphone. I'm sorry for anyone wearing headphones. I apologize, but I just needed to say that. When you put that many O's in your name, you have to. But anyways, very good effort from them. They lost, what, 5-0 game 1 and 3-1 game 2. Not a bad stat line. Not bad score lines whatsoever. Very, very good stuff. So I respect those guys. I really hope to see them succeed in the lower bracket, get at least a good run going, but that's probably a really good team to play as you get ready to play in that lower bracket. So hopefully they get a run, but as for Southern Miss, they'll be getting ready to take on the Boilermakers of Purdue.
Boilermakers?
Yes.
Is that actually what they're called?
That is, yeah. I'm pretty sure, yes.
Huh.
You're making me second guess myself, and I know so many mascots.
I've never heard that before. I thought it would be.
It's because in March Madness they get called the Spoiler Makers.
Oh.
And I might be thinking of like No, they are. Yeah, I was right. The Boilermakers. Yeah, they get called the Spoiler Makers because they tend to spoil a lot of March Madness brackets like every year. So, yeah.
That's crazy. I did not know that.
That's what happens when you just like watch too much. Like, I don't even watch college football. That's the crazy part. I watch like very random college stuff on occasions, and it's like very rare that I like actually pay attention to it. I just know, like, I'll see a school and I'll just know their mascot sometimes, and I don't really know why. I've just heard it 1,000 times. Like Drexel, they're the Dragons. I'm pointing that out because I see them. They're playing UNC Charlotte. UNC Charlotte, excited to see what they do with their program. I've said this 1,000 times. They got a $1 million grant from the state of North Carolina. Very, very excited to see what they do with it. They're building a brand new facility, basically sponsored by the state. So hopefully they can do something with that that's incredible for all of esports, all of collegiate esports, because as we said, Collegiate Rocket League specifically is in a great spot. It's really looking like they can flourish, if you will, in all of this. So very excited to see if they can get something going.
Yep. Now the scores were just reported, so hopefully we can get this game on pretty soon here.
And while we have the time, let's take a look at the rest of the bracket. St. Clair 2-0 over Idaho State University. They are playing University of Minnesota right now. Big Ten Minnesota taking on St. Clair Green. I believe Minnesota played very well too. I'm pretty sure they got like top 4 in the Big Ten in Rocket League last semester. When I tell you I follow esports, I follow esports. The Big Ten is one of the only major, in fact, it is the only major conference that has esports, and I love that. They're the only Power 4 now. They're the only Power 4 conference that has esports, so I will say it is great. I want to see more of that. Minnesota, I believe, again, was top 4. I could be completely wrong on that, but I know they're pretty far up there in the Big Ten, so a solid team, but realistically, it's St. Clair Green. They're not going to win that game. It's probably a 2-0, unfortunately. Maybe a 2-1. Maybe Minnesota can pull something off, but Arju is just inevitable. Arju is just inevitable. I'll be real. I see Cumberland is taking on Fisher Pescados. That's on Bass from the Past Twitch. So if you want to do a quick multi-twitch.tv/Bass from the Past/Southern Miss Esports, you can watch both games whenever our game starts. And then you can see Cumberland take on Fisher Pescados. That is a new Cumberland roster. They did not play in Open 1, by the way. They did not play in Open 1, but probably partially because they had to move from Pennsylvania to Tennessee. But I'm really curious. I want to watch that game, but I can't because I got to watch this game. So I can't really do that. But Cumberland and Fisher Pescados on the Bass from the Past stream. We also have Siena Heights. That's a sleeper team. I don't care what anyone says. Siena Heights is always a sleeper team. Overwatch, Rocket League, most titles, not all of them, but most titles they have, they are a sleeper team. Don't sleep on them. They are playing Columbia College. That is very big upset potential for Siena Heights. Will they win? No, but Columbia is up there. They're certainly one of the better teams as well. So we will see if we will see what happens there for Siena Heights and Columbia College, but probably a 2-0, 2-1. We have West Virginia taking on East Carolina. The Pirates probably going to have to sail down to the losers bracket. Unfortunately, they're not ones to wave the white flag, but the Skull and Bones are probably not going to go too far in the winner's side when you're taking on a team like West Virginia. Very, very solid there. And UNC Charlotte took down Drexel. So great work there from UNC Charlotte. They will take on the winner of West Virginia and ECU, likely the Mountaineers in that one. So we'll see if that ends up being the case, though. As for us, we are waiting for check-ins for both Southern Miss and Purdue Gold. Both teams have not checked in, so we'll be waiting that. And on the other side, Rochester Christian and UT Arlington have started their series only 33 seconds ago. So we have to wait for that. Now, do we want to take a look at the other brackets? What else are we going to do?
I mean, yeah, let's take a look at them. You know, we haven't even seen our Northwoods, Concord, or Maryville's.
I'm not really concerned with blowing my voice out anymore. I used to be, but like, I'm casting all semester, so you guys will see me a lot and hear from me a lot. So I'm just gonna, I don't care. I'm just gonna blast my voice. So speaking of Maryville, they took down UT Dallas Green 2-0 in their first game. They're taking on FSU Gold, which if I remember correctly, that is Florida State.
State University, baby.
It likely is Florida State, but there are other FSUs, but I'm pretty sure that is Florida State. We have Central Michigan. I'm a huge fan of Maction personally. As we get into Southern Miss and Purdue Gold, it looks like they also have a spectator, so that's pretty cool to see. We have Duck, Enchanted, and Plain of Purdue. They will be taking on Southern Miss here. Melodic, the first one with possession, dribbling coast to coast, and it's really buggy, but Melodic has taken that dribble all the way to the back of the net. Wow, we are lagging so hard, and I don't think it's anyone's fault. That's the crazy part.
No, that is wild, though.
Okay.
We'll see how this ends up going, but right now it's a quick 1-0 lead from Southern Miss. That's just open, but however, Zaf cannot get there. Is getting bumped off by Duck. We'll pass it down to Astro. Astro takes a quick shot, pinched out by Enchanted. Melodic barely misreading that touch from Duck there. You will have Zaf kind of taking it slow to the corner. Duck's gonna pop it up. It is on target, but not quite there. We'll leave it for Astro. And right now, Purdue is on a tear.
And something I was going to say too, Kev Dogcast has left the match. That is quite unfortunate, but maybe they're lagging just as hard as we were for a second there. I would not blame them. But a very much higher pace match. Purdue taking it to Southern Miss, have evened up the score 1-1, and that's a kickoff goal. So they will take the lead here. Purdue Gold looking for another upset. The spoiler makers may be trying to spoil the day of the Golden Eagles. There's still 4 minutes and 11 seconds in this game, but they have upped the pace drastically from what we just saw, and maybe that's exactly who Southern Miss needed to play. That is a slight bump, I think, onto Enchanted, but nothing too crazy. Zath is going to send it downfield. Plain is there. Astro, though, puts it back mid. It looks like Melodic ended up Zath ended up turning out, so he's not able to get there. Melodic will keep it into the blue half. Enchanted is here to contest. Where can he go with the ball? It's above one, but Astro again just poking it away, just constantly staying on the ball. Looks like again we're lagging super hard. Plane will not send it there. Shot comes in from Duck, not gonna go. Melodic out to the left wall. Astro will not be here in time, so Plane will have another possession. Zach does beat him though, and that's huge for Astro to get there. The 50 though from Duck is realistically what's gonna save it from a goal for Southern Miss. And Southern Miss need to find a way to get back into this game. That's series tracker at the top, if you were unaware, is incorrect. It is 0-0 right now, but Southern Miss looking to find a way into this one. Melodic gets credit for that save. Zath will be following. Duck though just poking it away. Astro now here at the corner gets a good touch. It's a 50 with Enchanted. Zath down to Melodic, tries to play the first player on defense. Now Astro gonna have a solo play set up, looks for the double a little bit far away. Duck leaves this one and it's gonna go straight to Zath. Astro passes it back. Here comes Melodic with the pass from Zath. Now just playing them like a fiddle. Purdue had nothing that they could do there. 2-2 scoreline, and that's the type of plays you consistently get from Melodic.
Bro, I don't think we've ever seen a passing play that methodical from them, especially with the fake coming out from Melodic just to easily put that ball into the back of Purdue's net. It's just amazing. After a little bit of a mistouch, it's gonna should have left that for Melodic, but Melodic did end up going for it. That's a tiny double commit. It won't really matter that much. Purdue is just going to send it back into the possession of Southern Miss. That there gets beat out by Enchanted, and it will be Melodic hitting it. We'll have a secondary touch to Zaz. Zaz, not enough boost to get there, however, and Plane is going to take a touch. It kind of looks like right now that Purdue's just sending the ball to Southern Miss. Southern Miss is taking possession and trying to slot anything in that they can as Astro just sends it straight into the back of the net. Not a single Purdue player able to get there. Duck trying for it, but not enough momentum to make that save, and it is now 3-2 for Southern Miss.
Another incredible passing play from Southern Miss, and it's like we were saying earlier, they just look so much better than they did in the fall, and they weren't even playing terribly in the fall, but we knew that this team had so much potential to be a very talented roster, to be at the top of that collegiate conversation. And I mean, I'd even talked to them over the break a little bit, and they seriously wanted to get so much better, and they are doing just that right here, right now. Astro just slowly taking this approach, gets it out to Zath with a 50. Now here's Zath going off the ceiling, but gets bumped. Purdue needed that bump desperately, otherwise Zath was probably scoring right there. And this is just looking so much better. Southern Miss have just brought a whole new life to themselves as Astro gets another one. Great recognition of the play. Zath had zero boost after that second touch, and Astro recognizes that, flies forward, beats out the defender of Purdue, and Southern Miss now the 2-goal lead.
Southern Miss had a change of pace in the first minute, and they had to adjust to it. And my goodness, have they adjusted? I mean, they went from playing a little better touches. As you see, Zach has another attacking opportunity. We'll put a shot onto the net, and it is in. 5-2 from the pass by Astro. I mean, these guys are looking unstoppable right now.
Zach's just way too quick to that ball. That's a very, I want to talk about that clear from Astro as well. It doubled as a pass because of the way he pinched it off the backboard. Now Melodic has a chance to shoot with zero boost, so couldn't really make the most of that shot opportunity. But Astro basically making that a perfect pass off the save, and Zach knows he is faster than everyone in the lobby except for maybe Melodic, and that just means you have an opportunity to shoot, and you take that opportunity when you get it. Good work from Enchanted there, trying to bump out Zath. Zath with low boost still gets the save though. And now it's Purdue just trying to make up for what they have given away, but with just 10 seconds left on the clock, it's looking like that's going to be game number 1, and Southern Miss are going to find themselves 1 game away from the next round, who would take on likely Rochester Christian. That's a shot that is so unfortunate. I saw he quick chatted whoops after it, which is quite funny. And also, I see the tag for Melodic. He may have heard me speaking. He put the RLCS Challenger tag on. So now everyone on Southern Miss has the same tag as well. See 4 saves from Southern Miss, 2 goals apiece from Melodic Astros, Zaf with 1, 2 goals from Plain. And look at that, too. The shots category pretty even, and the saves category even relatively even. So nothing like drastically different, but Purdue just cannot keep up with the pace of Southern Miss after those initial 2 goals.
Yeah, no, 100%. These guys are playing really well. Purdue had the upper hand 2-1 in the first minute and a half. And after that, Southern Miss was like, all right, guys, let's wake up a little bit here. And absolutely dominated. So it looks like one of Purdue's players has left, maybe to switch their car. You know, we see a lot of players do that. They just, if they're not playing good in one car, they start playing better in another. I don't even remember what car Plain was playing in, but
I believe.
Yeah, I do know that Zaf and Melodic did switch over from Fennec, or from Octane to Fennec from last series.
He was using a stock team, not just an Octane. He was using the stock team, and that's so trolly. But Melodic has changed out to the Fennec, a car I personally believe you get so much more control over. And from a very mechanical player like Melodic, he is someone that benefits very greatly from the control you get in that Fennec, and so does Zaf, as he finds goal number 1 of game 2, 4.5 still on the game clock. So a lot of time for both teams to continue on in this role, but still, Southern Miss an early goal here in game number 2.
Yeah, Zaf got a beautiful 50, and Duck could not get there in time. Couldn't read it. Zaf got the 50 and the read, and I don't even know what just happened. Melodic passed it out to Zaf. Zaf touched it down. Enchanted tried to make the save, but Astro was just there to block it in bottom left corner. And that's 2-0 Southern Miss, and it's only been 30 seconds. Southern Miss has woken up. You'll see Duck didn't even go for the ball there, went straight for Melodic. Melodic reading that play, actually, and just takes the demo. And then goes for the ball a second time. You'll see Plain hitting it off the backboard. Zaf there to save it, trying to take a second touch. Does get it to Melodic. Enchanted is going to kind of float with this ball. Runs out of boost. Up to Zaf. Astro, barely any boost. Does go to challenge that ball. Melodic will jump. Every time I see a Purdue player jump for the ball, they use every ounce of their boost to get to it, because if they do not take a touch on that ball, Southern Miss is going to score.
Yeah, absolutely. They are just very clinical today, and I really would like to see them keep this pace up for the rest of the day, as it's going to be very beneficial for them to continue this pacing. I mean, the passing plays have looked great so far. They have everything in their back pocket to psycho from Melodic. I mean, Zaf also trading out with Enchanted, so it is a 2v2 for just a couple seconds. Astro will end up getting that, keeping that in the blue half. Melodic is going to try to keep possession here instead of trying to force a shot that could have potentially been dangerous for them. Melodic just dribbling around all of these Purdue players, and it has just been a clinic these past couple of minutes from Southern Miss. Plain, though, will get control. A bump from Enchanted. Now 1v1, 2v1 with Zaf, and Zaf just gets put in a tough position. Good work from Purdue, playing the 2v1 to perfection. Plain also with no boost there, but still Duck making it work, and that will be the first one on the board for Purdue. They're keeping themselves alive just enough.
Yep. Nothing that Zaf did wrong there at all. Plain just made the right decision. He waited for Zaf to jump. The second that he saw Zaf jump, he passed that ball straight into Duck. and Zath unfortunately could not recover fast enough to get there. Just a beautiful play there from Purdue, as we'll see. Southern Miss already back on the attack. Zath got the flip reset, but not end up using it. Enchanted is going to try and air dribble over Melodic. Unable to, though. You'll see Astro got the demo on Duck. Tried to hit the ball, but ended up missing.
Wait, Zath is not in this. He's not prepared for this at all, and that's going to be an equal score line. The first attempt at the defensive touch was not ideal because you can see he gets bumped, and so he had to go for it again and again, playing just chasing him down. And that is how you beat teams that you know you are probably a little bit, I don't want to just keep saying a little bit better than you, as Astro not able to get back, and Purdue with 3 unanswered goals. That is massive for the Boilermakers, and Melodic just not able to get to the ball in time on that kickoff, and he just simply got beat. That's plain and simple. He got beat, and Astro was not prepared for it.
Yeah, that is wild, and you'll see Purdue on the attack again. 0 boost for Plain, though. It's gonna have
It's a very scary place, too. Ooh.
Yeah, I have no idea. That is
Oh.
should be a goal. Oh, he missed the flip reset.
He didn't get the reset, but he's just
It doesn't
faking it for
matter.
Zath. Zath comes through off the pass, and I mean, Melodic was nice and gave Purdue time to get back on defense, and Duck just didn't have boost, so that's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
And when the ball is at the top of the net and you have 0 boost, you literally cannot get to it. I mean, you can, but like, you have to have the luckiest jump in the history of the game.
Yeah, no, 100%. I thought Melodic was going to end up getting that flip reset. Unfortunately, did not. You'll see Plain going up here, blocked out by Zath. Duck is going to try and take a touch, but it will be hit away by Astro. Zath just there, beating out Enchanted. Hope, I'm pretty sure Melodic is the one that should be challenging that. Do not know where he is. He was playing a little bit defensive. Zath kind of backflipping. You will see the ball cleared out by Zath. Purdue has not had an attacking chance here for quite a minute. A little bit of a double commit. Zath will end up jumping for this. Enchanted almost slots it down, but you will see Plain finishing that offense, slotting it right in over the Southern Miss defense. Boom. And tapped down. Zath almost getting there with that squishy save. But Purdue's looked great this game. 4-3 with 1 minute and 17 seconds left. They just have to hold off for a minute.
And that play all starts with the shot from Enchanted, forces Melodic to jump, and Melodic doesn't get any bit of a touch, I don't think, whatsoever off of that. Zath is here in the defense, but and then it allows the net to basically be opened up completely almost from there. Zath, the only one in net with low boost, has to go for a squishy, and it's just not going to work out that way. Astro maybe a little too aggressive as the third man, and that's going to be a free shot and goal, but they don't take the opportunity. The handout was just denied by Purdue.
Oh my goodness. I do not know what happened. Purdue, I guess, giving Southern Miss an opportunity to come back, and Southern Miss wasting no time in trying to take a shot. However, that looks just to be open. Zath unable to get back in time, and that's got to be the end of the game.
I think Melodic's trying to shoot there, and if he is trying to pass, it's just either not a great play from whoever was supposed to be mid, or just not good enough awareness to see that there's no one in mid. Regardless, that's a tough angle for Melodic, absolutely, but at the same time, just not the most ideal play, but he looked to make it up with a double, doesn't get there, denied by all 3 players of Purdue, and it's looking like Purdue's going to have another goal, and Southern Miss just trying to get too aggressive. They're down 6-3. Purdue going to send this one to 3.
Yeah, Southern Miss has to play aggressive here. I mean, that's just what they had to do. 17 seconds left on the clock. They needed a goal to even have a glimmer of hope, but unfortunately, nothing came out of it. That will be game number 2 going to Purdue, making it 1-1. We will see Astro going for anything. Melodic just sitting in the net, knowing that this game done literally nothing that you can do to win that game, and it will be 6-3 going to the side of Purdue.
That's a huge one for Purdue. I mean, 4 goals from Plain on 9 total shots. Zath 2 for 6, and there's only 4 saves on the other side. So, not a great showing from Southern Miss. It felt like they got their third man was just constantly pushed way far past midfield, and when your third man is past midfield, that's an opening for the offense or the defense on the other side, especially when you don't have pressure and you're not boost starving. If you're boost starving, then it's fine, but if you're not, then it's a problem. Although Southern Miss may look to just get very aggressive here. Melodic gets demoed, so it's only a 2v3 for the moment. Zath with a powerful touch. And something I wanted to say last game, it felt like Purdue was just putting way too much power on the ball a large majority of the time, but at the same time, it worked out for them. But if they want to be consistently beating teams like Southern Miss, they need to be a bit more careful with how they handle the ball.
100%. But what we need to see from Southern Miss is more passing plays. That is just
A dunk. That is a dunk from Duck, and Zath with no boost can't clear that. You have to be much more careful here if you are Southern Miss. Zath with 0 boost can't do a whole lot, and I lied. That's not really a dunk. That's just more of a 50 that ends up going their way because of the aerial that Duck was part of, and also because Zath couldn't put power on it. Huge bump from Melodic. He sends that man to the moon. Astro just takes a very fast shot, tries to put something on net to force back the forces of Purdue Gold. And now here comes Duck. I really like the way Purdue has been playing this entire series, though. Another shot comes through. Enchanted won't score. Now 2 men, though, for Purdue in the backfield of Southern Miss. They do manage to get back on defense. They do recover. Astro sends it to Zath. Zath puts it out mid. No one home, but Astro is still staying upfield. Misses the bump. You needed to get that bump if you're Astro. Now forces your defensive play to come out. Astro just continuously getting bumped, can't even get back on defense. Zath is in net to save the shot. Now Astro has a chance to shoot. Huge contest. I don't know how that contest even comes in, but regardless, it is Enchanted now with the ball for Purdue. They are just outpacing Southern Miss right now. Here comes Plain, doesn't beat Zath. Good work from Zath to force that play to not connect. Southern Miss are just constantly on the back foot right now. Melodic's getting beat by Enchanted. Doesn't have anything there. Zath off the back wall. Here comes Plain. Not able to get a touch. And Astro has the open space. So Southern Miss just doing their best right now to keep this ball in the blue half, but they are unable to. It just feels like they are so much slower right now.
Yeah, I know. I feel like Enchanted has beat Melodic to an aerial almost every time that Zath passes him a ball. It's like Enchanted knows what's coming next. They're gonna have to make something happen, switch it up a little. I do not know, but Purdue is just reading them really well. They're pulling out demos and bumps, and Southern Miss just isn't able to do realistically anything right now. But they've got 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to make something happen. Duck, the only one on defense, will just send it out to Plain. Melodic.
He didn't get there. I've never seen Melodic miss a touch like that. He did not get there, and it is just a free shot at that point for Plain. He jumps in front of the ball. Now the Boilermakers looking to spoil the days of the Golden Eagles. That's unbelievable from Purdue, but that's a huge demo. That would have certainly been another goal. A slow pass from Astro going to allow a shot to come in. It's off target. 2 minutes to score 2 goals. Realistically, 3 if you're Southern Miss. You got to get back into it right here, right now. Astro down to Melodic. Nothing there. Their passing plays have slowly just gone away, and now if you're Zath, you just have to contest this. But Purdue is on top of the ball over and over and over. This is disastrous for Southern Miss. Melodic now sends it down over to Astro. No one there. Zath keeping it off the wall. Can't get the second touch. Astro just sends it towards net very slowly. Duck carries it out, gets it past another Southern Miss defender. Zath with no boost. It feels like I'm saying they don't have boost a million times over.
Yeah, Purdue is suffocating Southern Miss right now. It does not look good. And that's just a shot. Astro barely able to make that save. Enchanted will take possession yet again. Blocked out by Melodic. Plane gonna go for it. Zath trying to take control here. Flip reset, but beat by Duck. That's just open if Plane can get the touch, but he doesn't.
Squishy
Astro-
save from Astro, and that's massive there. I don't think he needed to go for the squishy, but he was getting chased, so maybe he did. Now it's out mid for Purdue. No one there, 50 seconds, and you need 2 goals at the minimum. And it is looking grim right now. If you are Southern Miss, a pass to the midfield. Zath not able to put enough on it. Astro trying to follow, gets it through. So you have a lifeline, but that lifeline is very, very thin. Is it going to be deal or is it going to be no deal for the OT? 38 seconds to make it happen.
I do not know how they scored that goal. I will be 100% honest. I have no idea how Astro managed to hit that in, but 30 seconds to score another goal, and Astro just whiffs. I mean, at a time like this, when you're about to go into the lower bracket, this is not the time to whiff. What a save by Plane. Melodic trying to bump the Purdue players out of the way to make anything happen. However, so far, nothing
That's
has
a
been able
huge
to
clear.
come to it.
That's a massive clear, and Astro's not ready for it. And now a free double. That is going to be series right then and there. The losers bracket very early on for Southern Miss. Purdue, massive upset. They were not ranked at all in the top 30, I think it is, that colleague does. They were not ranked. This Purdue roster has just taken down Southern Miss, and they will go on to play likely Rochester. I have not looked at the bracket, but that is it. Southern Miss down in lowers.
I mean, I don't even know what to say. Southern Miss was just suffocated that entire game. Purdue.
No. UT Arlington has upset Rochester Christian. UT Arlington also not ranked. 2 upsets in that round. At least that I've looked at. I didn't look at the rest of the games. But UT Arlington and Purdue Gold, guarantee not a soul outside of players on those teams had either of them making it past Rochester Christian and Southern Miss. That is massive stuff from those squads. And Southern Miss, I don't even know where they're falling in the losers bracket. I can't even find them. There they are. They will play either New Mexico State or Robert Morris, which I think those two played each other in winners. So I don't know how they're playing each other again in losers. But they are all the way down to lower round 4. They are going to have a very long road ahead of them if they want to make it to getting even just a single point this time around.
Yep, we will see. However, I genuinely do not know what Southern Miss could have adjusted there. They were getting outpaced, beat. I mean, I've got no idea. Purdue looked amazing.
Yeah, I was correct, by the way. Rochester Christian was 26th, UT Arlington unranked, and Purdue unranked. So 2 unranked squads. Not that these rankings are end-all be-all, let me preface with that, but like those are 2 squads that are very solid, but not expected to really make these types of matches happen. So Drexel also getting upset then. Drexel was also on the top 30. They were 28, and they got upset by UNC Charlotte. Now, it didn't matter because West Virginia 2-0'd, but the winner of Purdue Gold and UT Arlington will go on to play West Virginia. That is going to be an even bigger struggle, though, for either of those squads. But if Purdue can put on another performance like that, they have a chance.
Yep. We will see how it ends up going. I don't know how long it is going to be.
It's not going to
until the
be
next
long
match.
because Robert Morris 2-0 New Mexico State. So we will be playing Robert Morris University here at Southern Miss. And the winner of this game will play either Rochester Christian, Davenport White, or Purdue Black. Southern Miss, Rochester Christian in lower round 5. If Southern Miss can take down Robert Morris, and if Rochester Christian can take down the winner of Davenport White and Purdue Black, which I want to say yeah, but I can't say yeah anymore. I just can't. You can't say that.
That's insane. Not what anyone Not even what the projected was predicting.
No. So, outside of those upsets, we have Cumberland taking on Columbia. That's probably a pretty good game. That is on Kev Dog. That's probably why Kev Dog left our game, because he went to go stream Cumberland and Columbia. That's probably a very good game, too. St. Clair is taking on Durham at the moment in the winners quarterfinal there. The winner will face either Cumberland or Columbia. So, a very unique winners bracket up here in pool number 1. I didn't get a chance, though, to really check in on the other brackets. So I see ECU is in lowers, Drexel's in lowers, Minnesota's in lowers, Siena Heights is in lowers. I don't know if Siena changed their roster, though. That Siena may have absolutely changed their roster. So there's a chance they're not quite as good as they normally are. Looking at the other brackets, we have Fisher taking on Bruton Parker, 2 ranked teams, 2 very good teams as well. Maryville taking on Central Michigan. Davenport, I believe, red. Sorry, that is Davenport black. Davenport black taking on St. Mary's, 2 solid schools there. OC taking on Michigan State. Michigan State, a team that surprised me in the fall. They were ranked after, I think, the 3rd poll, or something like that. And they have just been going up and up and up every single open. So I'm still very impressed because they kind of came out of nowhere. So that's a team to be following as well. They're taking on Oklahoma Christian. Those are 2 squads that certainly can battle it out there. Not seeing anything too wild, though, outside of that. And that's just pool 2. Over in pool 3, and this is also why I'm saying Southern Miss had a stacked pool, because they really did. And not they are out of the pool, but they have a very stacked pool today. Looking over at pool 3, we have Akron Blue and St. Clair Academy taking on each other in the winners quarterfinal. Ball State taking on Mizzou. Mizzou up 2-0 over Ball State Black. I believe that's a best of 5, so that's why it's 2-0. I could be wrong on that, but I believe that's that. And actually, that's Ball State's second team, because Ball State, the main roster, is also in the same bracket, but they're taking on Ole Miss. A lot of these winners quarterfinal games are going to be heaters, or should be heaters. You have Boise State taking on Kennesaw State as well. LCU, a ranked team in the lower bracket. Who do they end up playing? They lost to Boise State. That one makes sense. I'm not surprised there. But Kennesaw State, an upset over George. I'm pretty sure that's an upset over George Mason. That's a very surprising one to me, at least. I always think very highly of George Mason, but I might be one of the few that does. So a lot of teams that are just not performing today, I guess, which is quite impressive. But we should have the RMU and Southern Miss series here relatively shortly. I'd imagine both teams are just about ready to hop into the lobby. Southern Miss probably taking a minute or 2 as well to collect after that series there. GCU Purple taking a game off of Northwood Blue. That might be one of the bigger surprises of the day, too, even though they didn't win. Still, we have number 3 taking on number 30, Northwood Blue, Algonquin College. I don't know who that roster is. They were ranked this time around at number 30. I didn't even know that they were a good school. We'll see who their roster is real quick while we're here. Trey Duck. Oh, there's like a million players named Duck. Why is there another Duck? And Fry High. I don't know them.
No idea.
Akron Gold taking on Shawnee State. Concord taking on Edgewood. Edgewood, the biggest surprise of Open 1. Edgewood College. I don't remember who all they played, but they upset 2 or 3 different teams. And it was unbelievable. I was watching that where I could, and it was insane. Like, they had a huge run. Edgewood College, small college. I think there's only like maybe 1,000 or 2,000 students there. They're in Pennsylvania, outside of Philly, outside of Pittsburgh, I believe, not Philly. And no one knows who they are because most of their teams are just kind of teams. Yeah. They're just kind of there. And so they were really fun to watch. I am quite surprised. Actually, I'm thinking of a different school. Edgewood is in Wisconsin, not PA. I was thinking of a different school. I forget which one I was thinking of, but there was one in PA that had a similar style like that. Also, it doesn't help. Their logo is literally the Philadelphia Eagles logo that's different colors. So it's not identical, but it's very, very close.
I get that. It's like how in Mississippi you've got like 3 different Bulldogs. Or I think there's even more Bulldogs than just 3.
Yeah, Edgewood College is about 2,000 students. So very, very small school in Wisconsin. And they went and
upset multiple top teams. They made it to like lower semis or something like that, and no one knew who they were at the time. So they have, and actually their roster might be, or no, I didn't look at their roster. Their roster is Timmy, Pink as Cat, and Bryant, which one of them, Timmy, didn't even play in the Open for RLCS, and the other two placed 97th. So it's not like they had high placements in RLCS either. Top 100 is still very, very good, just like not a roster you'd expect to make a huge run in CRL. So
Yeah, I get that.
just another one worth mentioning there. Which they are down 2-0 to Concord, so they're probably going to lose that series. Illinois State taking on St. Clair Gold, which I think is their second or third. I think it's their third roster. But a lot of interesting action going on around the pools today in CRL, and that's the thing about CRL. Any given Saturday, it's like college football. Any given Saturday, anybody can win, and you're seeing that right here, right now. St. Clair it's 24 minutes. I thought the series with Durham just started. They're up. St. Clair up 2-0. I could probably check out Kev Doug's stream to see how Cumberland and Columbia are doing. West Virginia. No, this round is best of 3. It just doesn't fully like end the round, I guess, for some reason right now. But so that is St. Clair moving on 2-0 in the uppers, along with West Virginia. They 2-0'd Charlotte in that round. Mr. B-Pick is streaming the Purdue and UT Arlington series, so certainly one to look out for too. UT Arlington 2-0'd Rochester Christian, so certainly one to look out for there as well. And now my bracket is frozen, so I can't scroll through the lowers, unfortunately. But just seeing Rochester Christian and Southern Miss in the lower bracket is insane to me.
It's pretty wild. Is the game on yet?
It looks like they have just both checked in, so should be able to open up the lobby, get everyone ready to go here soon, and get ready for our third series of the day. Robert Morris, Southern Miss. We'll see how they fare, especially after that tough loss to Purdue.
Yeah, it's not what anyone was expecting, but we will see how it goes. I think Southern Miss can make a lower bracket run all the way up to finals, to losers finals.
Yeah, and I would agree with you. That Rochester Christian series is super intriguing to me. Now, of course, they have to get through Robert Morris first, but if they can get to that Rochester Christian series, that is going to be where we find out who is who right there. Because that is a very, very good team in Rochester Christian. So I'm intrigued by that one. I want to see how that one will turn out.
We will see. It's just going to be interesting. A bit of a wait until these guys get into the lobby. But what do you want to see more of from our Southern Miss squad in this game?
I kind of want to see them play more collectively. It felt like at the start of the day, they were playing very, very well. The passing plays were there. They were outpacing their opponents quite easily. But in that last series, it felt like they were getting held in their half a lot. And it's not easy to break out of. When you get put into that cycle, it's very hard to break out of. But maybe being a little more aggressive on the bumps, trying to just keep the ball downfield. Like, if you have to, just bang the ball out and grab boost and then break yourself out. Purdue was doing an incredible job of staying on top of the ball and staying on top of Southern Miss. They were not allowing Southern Miss to set up those passing plays that were giving them so much benefit in their first and second series of the day. Even that first game, they won like 6-3.
Yeah.
So it's not like Purdue just outplayed them the entire time, but the adjustments from Purdue were just very, very good. And that's realistically what got them the win there. But we do have Robert Morris taking on Southern Miss here in lower round 4. Is Astro, the one to start possession for Southern Miss, has the reset, doesn't use it, takes the 50. Zath gonna get credit for a shot. That one was off target though and sent away. Melodic, the next man up, sent back to Astro. I'm not a huge fan of that back touch. Zath just has to pop it, and Robert Moore should have a goal here, and they do. Demented Sheep just
I had just got done saying it. I think they were panicking a little. Not panicking. Panicking is not the right word. They were getting a little overzealous. They were just simply, I guess panicking is the right word for lack of a better term. And it has costed them. Zath, though, should have a kickoff. Actually, no. Didn't have the boost to make it happen. Has to back away. Here comes Astro. 50 out there. Here comes Zath. Off the back wall. Now sent away by Demented Sheep. Melodic, nothing there. And it's just looking rough right now for Southern Miss. They need to get something here. They need to find each other again. If they can start holding their opponents back, if they can start even just holding the ball to continue maintaining possession and taking the boost away from Robert Morris, they will be fine.
Yeah, I don't know though, but it's they're playing a lot slower than they did. It's just, especially from that quote unquote back pass from Astro. I mean, Zath just ran into the post there. It's just a free shot from RMU, but Astro there able to make the shot, trying to get anything to happen. Senti is gonna take it a little bit slower or Melodic there for it. Will go for the bump, unable to get anything. Astro just trying to hit it down any 50 that they can, but RMU just launching it back down on the side of Southern Miss and getting all these bumps in. There's really nothing that Southern Miss has been able to do offensively that RMU hasn't been able to block.
Yeah, and I would like to see those intricate passing plays start to come back through, and you can see them trying to go for those passes. It's just that they're not there with each other. And I mean, Robert Morris, taking the words out of my mouth right there, simply pass downfield from Demented Sheep. Senti is right there to receive it. And it feels like the defense is just getting so aggressive for Southern Miss. They are playing too far upfield, and they are allowing these downfield passes. It feels like someone has snuck through a million times over in the past 2 games that they've played. And it's just not acceptable. You have to be careful on the defensive side. If you're going to play a very heavy offensive mindset, you have to be scoring goals then. And the passing is just not there. The solos are not there. We saw last semester, Melodic was just huge in those solo plays, and he's just been held to nothing for almost multiple hours at this point. Here comes Zath, down to Melodic, doesn't get the touch, leaves it for Zath. Now up again, Astro off the back wall. Here comes Melodic once more. That should be a shot and a goal, but he ends up hitting it off the side crossbar. Melodic not having the day you would expect him to have.
No, not at all. I mean, with the whiffs and everything, it's just...
They look flustered.
Yeah.
And here's another shot from RMU. The dunk not going to come in from Senti. And here's GJM. Not able to get anything there. Here's now Zath on the other side into the corner. Melodic just trying to pop it towards net. GJM is going to be there to receive it. Astro, I think, whiffed there. Here is Zath on the other half. Not going to get anything out of it. Astro now has to go for a demo. Melodic has to go for a save off the backboard. Here is again getting contested. Melodic no boost. And JGM, I keep saying J, sorry, GJM, Demented Sheep. I can't speak that name for some reason, but regardless, beautiful pass down to Demented Sheep, splits the defense in 2, and Southern Miss. I don't want to say it, but it almost looks like they're tilting a little bit.
Bro, I can't watch this. This is insane. I just have... RMU look great. I mean, there's whiffs and stuff coming out from both sides, but whenever RMU makes a passing play together, I feel like they just have more trust in one another than what our Southern Miss squad is showing.
Reset there for I think he got the reset there for Demented Sheep. Melodic. I want to see him be the first man. He is the first man and always should be, at least when they can. Obviously, you can't just guarantee that all the time, but Melodic is an incredible first man. His mechanics are, you just have to let him get his mechanics in play, and that's what's going to get you goals. Right there, sets it up for Astro. Now, they didn't score, but those are the types of plays you need to see from Southern Miss if they want to win games. And right now, it just looks like he is just struggling right now. Great shot placement from Demented Sheep. It is 4-0 right now. This game is over. At least this game here is over. Southern Miss. All right, I'm gonna go to this route. Do you remember Open 3 from last semester?
Yeah.
This is looking exactly like Open 3 from last semester. If you weren't here for that, Southern Miss lost very early in winners, put down to losers, lost to a team that they should not have lost to. I don't really remember the names. I am really sorry to those schools that beat them last semester in Open 3. There's a million matches I casted. I don't remember all of them. But this is looking like very similar to what we saw in Open 3 of the fall. And that is another whiff, but ultimately it doesn't really matter. 4-0 dominant from Robert Morris. Southern Miss on the back foot is an understatement.
Southern Miss needs to take their Dayquil. I have no idea. They need to speed it up. Definitely play their roles. You know, we know the roles that they can and will play and are good at playing. And they need to play those roles. They need to string out these passing plays because RMU is doing that and winning. It's just, we'll see. Southern Miss definitely, we all know they have the ability to beat this team. They can beat this team. It's just that they're going to need to make some changes in this match in order to win.
If you want to stay in contention for playoffs, it's exactly what I talked about at the start of the stream. The point distribution is a little funky, and it is super top-heavy. You cannot afford to miss even a single open getting points. If you do, you basically have to get top 4 to be competitive, to even have a chance at making the overall playoffs. And Southern Miss does not have the opportunity to give away points right now. And that is what they will do if they allow Demented Sheep to hit this shot. And Zath does manage to get the save, but they are still in their back half. Now you see Demented Sheep having to go back for boost. Here comes Melodic, has an opportunity, doesn't get the control though.
Nope, not at all. And RMU is blocking every single play that Southern Miss has. Zath going for a shot. GJM is just there to block it off, and Senti now will have just an easy air dribble. Melodic and Astro both jumping for it. Thankfully, Zath is there to push it up on the side of RMU. However, Demented Sheep is going to just 50 it out, passing it over to Senti. Senti jumps. Zath there for the cutoff. Gets a low 50 down. Senti going for a bump, I'm pretty sure, but Melodic zero boost. Unable to do anything. Zath is going to take a touch. That's just in their net.
The Golden Eagles are having their wings cut off right now. In the air, anytime they get a single touch in the air, they are immediately being contested. And that is costing them so much space, so much boost, and it is just devastating. Astro barely getting bumped there. That was a lot of power on that bump, and for how little boost they had. But they're simply just getting stifled right now in the air, and they need to find a ground game, I think, at this point. They need to find a ground game. They need to find each other. They need to find a way to break through this defense that has just been on them every single step of the way. Melodic not able to get a touch there. Astro with a good shot, though. Maybe the defenders expecting that first shot from Melodic. Astro finds it into the back of the net. That's an equalizer, and that is the first goal they've scored in a fair bit of time. 3:02 on the clock. That's when they needed it.
That is definitely when they needed it. That momentum. Now, whether or not Melodic was meant to hit that ball or not, I don't think it matters right now. We'll call it a fake. Astro did end up scoring, but that... Melodic went for a psycho. I think he backed off from it because it was a pretty bad touch and expected Astro to go for it. Astro just couldn't do anything about that. Maybe a miscommunication. who knows? But that's just basically an open net for RMU.
I will say too, if I saw, I'm not gonna say if I, because I'm a diamond, but if you see Ash or Melodic on the wall there, I'm kind of surprised you're still going on the backboard as well to contest your teammate on the backboard. Now, it is a big dribble from Melodic. That is the type of play that you need to see from him consistently. A double from Zath, not going to connect. Even if that wasn't blocked, it was not going in. It was hitting the crossbar. Here comes Melodic once again. No boost to work with, though. Cannot follow up on that touch. Zath has managed to send it mid. Not for very long, though. It did not really drop. It simply just floated. Astro again upfield, not able to make anything happen. Senti gets contested. Demented Cheap has sent it down off the wall. Melodic has possession here, has boost. Waiting for a 50, and the ball is going to get poked away from him once again. That's a good pre-flip from Melodic. Doesn't get there. Still forces the play out of the hands from RMU. Melodic again contesting. See, this is what I want to see from Southern Miss. They need to play hyper aggressive. This is how they are. I know I said earlier they were playing too aggressive, but at the same time, when you know you have them boost starved, that is when you can get on the defense. Or that's when you can get on the attack, force the defense to pop out a net with no boost. Then they can't recover, but that back touch is just devastating. That's going to allow another shot to ring through, make that 2 shots to ring through. Senti doesn't get the bump. Demented Cheap will only get a shot that doesn't go its way. Astro has no boost in net, managed to recover regardless. Senti, though, still with possession. Now flying through, gets the second touch, has to beat Zath and gets the bump on him. Demented Cheap puts it through. Not out of reach just yet, but the top shelf is looking further and further away, especially for someone like me who's 5'6".
Southern Miss, their coffin right now is getting nailed in. They are getting shut out, and they need something to happen. GJM almost messed up that save, but just manages to get there, saved off the crossbar. Melodic passed it over to Zath. Zath's 0 boost, kind of just there as a kind of like a, hey, I'm here guy. But Astro will manage to find the goal. 46 seconds. It is possible. RMU obviously going to try everything they can to make the saves and hold off Southern Miss. But Southern Miss, they want this win.
They need this win. It's not just a want. It's a need. And there's a huge bump there. 40 seconds. What do you have left if you are Southern Miss? You need to force a game 3. This is game 2. This is not even... They didn't even win game 1. So they would have to win another after this too. 30 seconds remain. You're still down by 1. This is disastrous if you're Southern Miss. You are probably starting to hit the panic button a little bit. Zath, though, looking to dribble it through. Has done so. Now, GJM, though, defensively. All RMU has to do is hold the ball, and they're doing a great job of just that. 10 seconds now to go. 1 possession left, and no one for Southern Miss is there. Actually, Melodic does manage to get it, and that's a good pass over to Zath, but he's blocked immediately. 1 second. You need a last-second goal. What's the effort? Who's there? Melodic whiffs, and that will do it. 2-0 for Robert Morris. Southern Miss. The wings are cut off. They're open to run. Cut short. Rochester Christian likely taking on Robert Morris. Now, they also have been having a bad day, so they are not guaranteed to make it into the next round either. They're playing Purdue Black, but wow. I cannot wait to see the next poll. Genuinely. I cannot wait to see the next poll to see what happens there. But that is a very brutal loss for Southern Miss. Not one that they can necessarily afford either, especially when you have the likes of West Virginia right there with you, and they are in the winner's semifinal, still awaiting Purdue Gold and UT Arlington. On the other side, Columbia College fell 2-0 to Cumberland. They are playing St. Clair in the winner's semifinal on that side. So a lot of teams that even Cumberland,
Yeah.
they have no points. They did not even play in Open 1. They are almost guaranteed points. Not guaranteed right now, but they are nearly guaranteed points. If they get 1 point, they tie Southern Miss. If they make it to Sunday, they're over Southern Miss in their first open that they've played this semester.
Yeah. Not what we wanted to see from the Southern Miss squad, but who knows? Honestly, they've got to pick it up. Definitely, I'm sure Melodic will give them not a stern talking to, but
A riveting speech.
Yes, a riveting speech. But there's some adjustments that need to be made. We can see they had their moments where they shined, but other than that, they were just getting shut out by these teams.
I mean, the way that Robert Morris and Purdue played against Southern Miss was hyper aggression. Like I don't think they stopped boosting the entire time. Like I'm gonna go I might look through some of those ball chasing files, and I genuinely think a couple players used boost the entirety of the match. Mm-hmm. Even when they had 0, they were somehow finding a way to hit circle and use boost. Like the pacing was unbelievable. And that's the state of Collegiate Rocket League, everybody. That's the 14th ranked team that just went out in losers round 4. Anyone can beat anyone. And there are so many SSLs in these brackets these days, and so many players that you might not even know. I mean, I'm going to have to go add 170 players to this list now. I'm not looking forward to doing that. It takes forever. There's 170 players that I'm going to go add to the CRL RLCS list, so be on the lookout for that. I'm going to add a link. I'm going to make a link tree at some point to add all these documents because I'm wasting my time doing that instead of doing these homework assignments, I guess. But that is going to do it for us today. Thank you all for joining. Unfortunately, cut very short. Typically, you'd expect this team to at least make the winners or the lower semifinals. So certainly going to be coming back with some fire for this next Open. But also, they have NACE play starting up this coming week. In fact, on Monday, I believe. No, sorry. The Monday after, they have NACE. Next weekend, CECC South qualifiers. That is how you make your way to Arlington. That is how you book your ticket to the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup Finals in Esports Stadium Arlington, the grandest stage in Collegiate Rocket League because CRL is no longer hosted they don't host a Worlds event anymore. If they did, then that would be, but it's not. Probably CCC is the grandest stage because you get to play in the biggest venue in all of collegiate esports, which it's not a collegiate venue. But anyways, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you all for joining us. We'll be back here on Tuesday for Southern Miss Call of Duty. They take on a top 25 UCF alongside a not top 25 Ole Miss. That's going to be some fire games. At least the UCF one is probably going to be a Game 5 bang out, especially with Kawa and Rain joining the roster. But for now, we'll see you guys later in Southern Miss.
To the top.
See you guys then.